All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the philosophy of superheroes, looking at the metaphysical fall of one of the most powerful characters ever created. And trust me, this is way more than just good guys versus bad guys. We're talking about the very fabric of reality and what absolute power really costs.
So this is the question, right? This is what our whole analysis boils down to. It seems so simple, but the implications, they're just huge. What actually happens when a being with that much power decides that, just being an inspiration isn't cutting it anymore? That enforcement is the only way forward. Let's see how that plays out.
To really get the fall, you have to appreciate the height he fell from. So let's start at the beginning, with Superman in his original state, as a perfect, untouchable ideal.
So we're going to lean on a little philosophy here. Think of this as the world of ideals, what the philosopher Schopenhauer called fortellum. In this state, Superman isn't a ruler. He's not a general. He's an ideal. He's a moral absolute who's supposed to inspire us to be better, but, and this is key, he doesn't force us. He exists as this perfect symbol of what good looks like.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? I mean, really think about that. His morality isn't something he has to think about every day. It's just a fundamental constant of the universe, like gravity. It's that reliable, that unchangeable. It doesn't bend, it just is.
This is honestly the perfect way to picture it. The world is this chaotic, stormy ocean, right? And Superman, he's the lighthouse. He's solid, he's unwavering, built on this bedrock of moral purity. He shines the light to guide everyone, but he never, ever jumps into the water to start pushing the ships around himself. He's separate from all that chaos. He's above it.
But what happens when the guy in the lighthouse gets sick of watching the ships crash anyway? Well, he makes a choice. And in this story, that choice is basically a Faustian bargain. This right here, this is the moment everything changes.
And here it is, the big shift. He decides that being a symbol just isn't working fast enough. He has to become a sword. He needs to be an active force that can literally carve the world into the shape he thinks it should be. He's stepping down from that perfect, ideal realm and getting his hands dirty in the messy world of enforcement.
Every bargain has its terms. The goal? It sounds great. Fix a broken world. But look at the price. The price is everything. He's trading away that absolute, gravity-like integrity. And what does he get in return? Raw, unapologetic power. The ability to make the world do what he says.
Okay, but here's the thing. By making this deal, he doesn't just change his strategy. He literally changes the reality he operates in. He's entering a brand new and frankly terrifying metaphysical landscape. So, welcome to the flip side of that philosophy, the willing, or the world as will. This is not the world of ideals we were just talking about. This is the primal, grinding engine behind reality. The will is this blind, aimless, striving force. It's like an endless hunger that is the root cause of all suffering in the universe. It's the chaotic river that the lighthouse was supposed to be watching over. I mean, just look at the features of this new reality he's in. It's not a place for reason or hope. It's a machine that's fueled by a desire that can never, ever be satisfied. By deciding to use force, Superman has essentially jumped out of the lighthouse and right into that churning, chaotic water. He's now part of the very problem he wanted to solve.
And this chart just lays it all out, plain and simple. The contrast is just wow. He goes from being this passive, pure symbol to an active, compromised participant, from inspiring change to forcing it. He literally trades his untouchable integrity for a partnership with his own shadow. He is, by definition, compromised.
So how does this new reality actually corrupt him? Well, you can't play in the world as will without getting your hands dirty. To enforce his vision, he needs new tools. And these are tools that are fundamentally built for a broken, fragmented world.
And here they are, the Authority. A team of, let's be honest, cynical operators who've always lived in that chaotic river. They are the living, breathing manifestation of the compromise he just made. They are the muscle he needs to bend the world to his will.
This slide is so important because it shows the head-on collision of two ideologies. Superman's morality was an absolute, right? Like a sculptor's delicate chisel, creating a perfect form. The Authority's philosophy is the total opposite, raw, pragmatic, and relative. To them, morality is just another tool in the box, and the ends always justify the means. They're not a chisel, they're industrial mining machinery. They'll move the mountain, sure, but they'll shatter the marble to do it.
This whole alliance, it actually has a deep philosophical name.
It's called the principium individuationis. It sounds complex, but the idea is simple. It's the principle of separation. It's what makes us see the world as billions of separate me's versus you's instead of one unified whole. And that feeling of separation, that's the root of all conflict and suffering. So let's make this really tangible. Think of Superman's original mission, his perfect moral code, as a beam of pure white light. It's unified, it's whole, it contains every color in perfect harmony.
And here's the tragedy. The authority, they're the prism. When Superman shines his pure, unified mission through their methods, it shatters. It breaks apart into a million jagged, competing colors. And now, he has to try and build unity using these broken pieces. It's a metaphysical impossibility.
So all of this brings us to the inevitable and really tragic conclusion. What is the ultimate price of this choice? What happens when you try to build unity with the tools of division?
Now, this is a chilling thought. This description of a Viltrumite automaton becomes a dark mirror for what Superman could become. By working inside the world's will, he risks becoming an engine of that will, a creature trapped in a never-ending cycle of desire and enforcement, unable to rest, powered by the very conflict he wanted to stop.
And that's the core of it, really. You can't fix a fragmented world with the tools of fragmentation. It just doesn't work. By using force and compromise, Superman doesn't end the world's suffering. He just institutionalizes it. He becomes the new boss, but it's the same old suffering machine.
And this brings us right back to where we started. The two big analogies that defined his journey now define his fall. The flawless marble statue that he represented, it's now shattered and stained. And the lighthouse, that beacon of purity on the shore, has jumped into the chaotic river, and now it's just another piece of wreckage being tossed around in the current.
And so we end with the question that this whole tragic story forces us to ask ourselves. Can a perfect ideal really survive contact with our broken reality? And can you ever truly build a world of unity using the very tools that tear it apart? It's something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.